So let's talk about a few of the dishes that we're gonna actually see how they're made and so forth.
Okay.
So let's start with the sauce first.
Okay.
So what does the sauce consist of?
Our barbecue sauce,
Yeah.
tomato paste. I ain't gonna give y'all my shit now.
Well,
you know.
it's in the.
But tomato paste.
but it's actually in the
to a
in
certain
the cookbook.
point, yeah. But tomato paste,
Okay.
mustard, a few other little things. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have the actual ingredients
To a point.
to a point. So can
Yeah.
you talk about what's actually in the book?
Yeah. It's the recipe in the book is an incredible recipe.
Okay.
In fact, somebody just hit me up the other day that they won some barbecue sauce cook-off for best barbecue sauce in Tennessee with the recipe that's in the book.
Really? Okay. Now the mac and cheese.
Okay.
I had that the other day.
How you like it?
I love it. I love it. It's different because it's different types of cheeses.
Yeah, it's
So-
6 different cheeses.
6 different cheeses.
Yeah.
So tell me how you make it.
One thing you got to get the noodles right.
Okay.
And
So what do you mean by getting the noodles right?
We boil our noodles in chicken broth,
Ah.
and we season our noodles.
Ah.
You got to see some seasoning on your noodles.
Okay.
You know what I
I've
mean?
never
And
heard
then
that
we make a
never heard that before.
a cheese sauce.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are the cheeses you actually use?
Parmesan, sharp cheddar, mild cheddar, Colby Jack, and mozzarella.
Okay. So what gave you the idea to actually combine so many different types of cheeses?
I mean, that's the way my mother and my granny always did it.
Aha.
Yeah.
That's how they made it.
That's
so
how
it's
they made
basically
it.
their recipe.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
So let's start with the mac and cheese.
Try that mac.
Okay. You want some?
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me taste and make sure it's right, because I don't have
Let's
to fire nobody. Oh, yeah, you good.
Yeah. You got it right? Okay. So this right here is a 6-cheese blend.
6 cheese blend.
Got the crust on top.
Got the crust on top. Did you get some crust on there?
Right there.
There you go.
Yep.
You see them eyes roll back in his head?
So you actually make the noodles in chicken broth.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't. Yeah, it tastes a little bit different than
You
the
gotta,
usual.
it's all about layers, man. It's got to be layered all the way from start to finish.
How long does this usually take to bake?
Like an hour.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah. The prep is the longest, grating cheese and all that, but the prep is the longest.
Okay. Now the collard greens are different than what I usually
Yeah.
have. Tell me how those come together.
Smoked pork jive, turkey necks, cooked low. You see a lot of people cook collard greens and they throw a big old ham hock or something and don't let it cook. You have to make the broth. Collard greens or any kind of greens come from the broth. So you have to cook it down. We start 2 hours with our broth. And when you taste that broth, it's got to taste like a soup or something. And that's when you know your green's going to be on point.
Okay, and that came from your grandmother also?
Yeah, grandmother and grandma.
So all this is basically, I mean, did you modify any of the recipes
Yeah,
as
like I
time
told
went
you,
on?
I had to modify the sauce, thicken it up a little bit. I had to cut back some salt on the greens. But other than that, no, I'm gonna give you how I got it. Are you like collard greens?
I do like collard
Okay.
greens. Well, I'll be honest, hit and miss.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like it, sometimes a little bit bitter, a little bit too well.
Yeah.
But the key to collard greens is the meat content
Yes,
in it.
yeah.
So do you use, this is turkey right here?
Smoked turkey.
Okay. Do you ever use any like pork? Or that
Sometimes we cooking in jive, but most time now we just cooking in the smoked turkey. See them eyes rolling the back of the head?
This is different than the typical.
Yeah.
typical collard
Oh
greens,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Them is Bludso's collard
No,
greens.
I'm a big soul food fan, so I've eaten collard greens pretty
You a
much
big
everywhere.
soul fan all the way around.
Yeah.
You got gangsta all in you. Shit.
But there's like, if you take a look, there's so much meat in here. A lot of times you see collard greens, little something, a little piece of pork here and there, but this is like literally all throughout.
Collard greens are bitter, and
Look
you
at
have
this.
to cook them. You have to get the flavor in them, and then you have to have the meat to balance it out. You know.
That's the key. What kind of broth? Is it your own broth or do you put a different broth in here?
Chicken broth. We
Chicken
cook
broth.
them in chicken broth. Yeah. So
Okay.
and that's what I was saying earlier. You have to cook your turkey down to make the broth.
Got it.
You know.